I was bent down, digging through the bottom rack, hunting for my size. 5, 5, 5, here it is, 7. As I stood, clutching the pink panties, I caught sight of a guy near the restrooms. He quickly looked away, but it was obvious where his eyes had been fixed. Creep, I thought, grabbing my things and moving to another aisle to keep shopping. Why did department stores always place the lingerie section so close to busy walkways? It was uncomfortable enough to shop with other women nearby, without feeling like everyone was watching. What's wrong with some men? I fumed. Who just stands around staring while women pick out underwear? I tried to ignore him, but I felt his eyes burning into my back. I glanced over casually. He turned his head fast. That's it. What's his problem? Why won't he stop staring? Feeling uneasy, I couldn't focus on shopping anymore. I approached the clerk at the counter. Is that all for you today, miss? She asked. I was looking for more, but the guy near the restrooms keeps staring. He's making me uncomfortable. The clerk nodded sympathetically. You mean the man in the navy shirt and grey pants? Yeah, that's him, I replied without looking. She glanced over toward him. If it helps, I'll ask him to leave. Are you sure? What if he gets angry? Shouldn't you call security? Don't worry, it's happened before. Finish your shopping, I'll handle it, she said with a reassuring smile. I felt embarrassed to watch what happened next, so I turned away to continue browsing. Voices behind me grew louder. It sounded like he was arguing with her. I kept looking away until I heard, "Hey, watch it," yelled sharply. I spun around just as he shouted, "Yeah, you. I'm talking to you." His glare was furious. I froze, speechless. "Back off," he snapped, then stormed off. I started to tremble. Moments later, the clerk returned. "Are you okay?" "I think so," I said. She smiled gently. "Sorry about the disturbance. Don't let it bother you, he's gone now." "I will be. It just unsettles me. Some guys are just rude," she said. "By the way, what did you say to set him off?" "Not much," she chuckled. "I just asked if I could help him find something his size." I laughed along. "I wish," I giggled. "I really do." Meanwhile, outside in the parking lot, that girl. I can't believe she got me kicked out. What's the big deal? Walking to my car, I felt my underwear riding awkwardly. I tried to adjust it but couldn't grab any loose fabric. My pants felt impossibly tight across my hips. I stopped and looked down. The fabric was stretched thin, nearly tearing. "What the?" I muttered. Making sure no one was watching, I unzipped my pants. To my shock, my stomach was completely smooth, no hair, and just above my lowered zipper peeked something pink. Pulling my pants away to look closer, I gasped, "Panties?" Somehow, I was wearing women's underwear, the very same kind the woman inside had been about to buy. I hurried to zip up, but my fingernails caught awkwardly. Long, painted nails like a woman's. I fumbled them back in place and turned to head back inside. I tried to walk normally, but my balance was off. People gave me strange looks as I passed. I kept my eyes on the floor, brushing hair from my face. Finally, I reached the store entrance. Inside, I frantically scanned the lingerie section for the clerk or the other woman. Nothing. Then a light tap on my shoulder startled me. I spun around to face the clerk who had just escorted me out. She smiled, eyes lingering on the noticeable curves pressed into the man's dress shirt I now wore. "Excuse me," she said softly. "I didn't mean to startle you. Can I help you find anything in your size?" "Come on, Raquel, don't make me go in there. It's embarrassing." "Oh, grow up, Daniel. It's no big deal. Besides, I need to pick out a gift for my sister. It won't take long." "But Raquel, it's just..." Before I could say more, she grabbed my hand and pulled me inside. As we stepped through the doors, heat flushed my cheeks. I felt every eye on me. I was completely out of place. "Hello," a young woman greeted from behind us. "Hi," Raquel replied as we turned. Can I help you find anything today? The woman asked brightly. Just browsing for a gift for my sister, Raquel answered. Great, she smiled. If you need anything, just let me know. Thanks, Raquel said quietly. As the girl turned to leave, a sharp jab hit my ribs. Hey, why'd you do that? I asked. Didn't your mom ever tell you it's rude to stare? The last thing she needs is some stranger making her feel like she's on display. Sorry, it's just that she's, well, huge. I stammered. Well, what did you expect? She's at least 8 months pregnant, dummy. I know. It just looks so ridiculous. Why doesn't she wear something bigger? You know, something that doesn't make it so obvious. Daniel, honestly, sometimes men are unbelievable. I'm not even going to explain it. Since you're so uncomfortable being seen here, why don't you just wait for me up front? Sorry, Raquel. Didn't mean to upset you. I just meant. Don't bother explaining. Just wait up front, okay? Alright, I mumbled as I turned away. Sorry. Geez, I muttered as I wandered through the racks. Women, what a headache. I made my way to the seating area by the cashier and sat down. A small stack of magazines on the coffee table caught my eye. As I flipped through them, a woman's voice startled me. Hi, can I get you something? Coffee? Soda? I looked up to see the same saleswoman. I tried not to stare but couldn't help glancing at her waist and then her noticeably swollen chest. I guess coffee would be fine. Thanks. Sure, happy to help, she smiled casually. Hope she didn't notice me staring, I thought as she walked away. A few moments later, she returned with the coffee. Here you go, sir, she said, setting the cup down. Thanks. No problem. Let me know if you need anything else. Will do, thanks. After a few minutes of sipping coffee and reading, I started tugging at my jeans waistband. Damn, I shouldn't have eaten so much lunch, I thought, stomach rumbling. Minutes later, I was really uncomfortable. I unbuttoned my pants. That's better, I sighed. But just as I settled, the tightness returned. I stood and adjusted them. They were digging in worse than before. What the? They fit fine earlier. I decided to check the bathroom. Excuse me, miss, I called to the saleswoman. Where are the restrooms? She smiled strangely. Just around the corner, then a right. At the end of the hall. It's unisex. Thanks, I said, heading off. As I walked, the waistband dug deeper into my waist. I also noticed my walk felt off. At the door, I knocked. One moment, a woman's voice answered. Time was running out. Pain was setting in. I spotted an empty changing room nearby. The coast was clear, so I slipped inside and shut the door. Without hesitation, I fumbled at the zipper. What I saw stunned me. It wasn't the jeans tightening. My waist was expanding. Holy crap, I thought. What's happening? My stomach ballooned, straining against the unzipped pants. It looked like I'd gained 15 pounds in minutes. I kicked off my shoes and struggled to pull the jeans down. They were tight over my hips and rear, but I finally freed myself. Relief, I sighed. Facing the mirror, I barely recognized the reflection. My belly was huge. Then I noticed my hands, my nails were longer. I looked up, shocked at my changed face. My hair was longer, features softer. Oh God, I gasped, voice cracking higher. I cleared my throat, but each attempt pushed my voice into an even higher pitch. Suddenly, heat flushed over me, sweat breaking out everywhere. My hands slid along my altered form until they rested on the waistband of my boxer shorts, stretched nearly to breaking. With effort, I pulled them off. As they fell, I noticed my legs had thinned, nearly spindly, and the hair on them was gone. I straightened up, watching my stomach swell further. As it pushed out, the front of my shirt gradually rode up, revealing more until I realized it was exposing my crotch, and below, a female organ. Horror struck me. Just minutes ago, I'd been a well-endowed man. Now, nothing. My hands flew between my legs. Please, someone help me. I tried to call out, but my voice barely escaped in a whisper. Suddenly, a heavy pressure pressed on my chest. Looking down, I grabbed at myself. Oh my God. No. I'm growing chest. I squeaked. Within seconds, they ballooned rapidly. The sensation was surreal. Less than a minute later, they were enormous. I yanked my shirt over my head and tossed it aside, turning to face the mirror. Staring back wasn't me anymore, it was a young pregnant woman. My belly and hips kept expanding, making me lose balance. I looked down to see a web of veins beneath the skin of my chests. They felt hard and swollen, my pointers tightened painfully. Time sped up. Helpless, I watched my body reshape in ways I never imagined. When the tingling stopped, I could only stare at my reflection in shock. My hands flew to my face, it was the same face as the saleswoman at the front desk. Oh no, I whispered. How is this possible? My eyes traced down my new curves as I arched my back awkwardly to stand. Someone, please help me. I bent to gather my clothes from the floor, desperate to cover up and escape. But the fabric in my hands felt strange. I looked again, my clothes had changed too. What I held was exactly what the saleswoman had been wearing moments ago. I couldn't make sense of it, and now wasn't the time to try. I needed to find Raquel, fast. Swallowing hard, I slipped into the only clothes available. A minute later, I rushed out of the dressing room and scanned the store for any sign of Raquel or the saleswoman. From the side, I heard the familiar chime of the doorbell signaling someone's entrance or exit. I turned quickly and gasped there was Raquel, walking out of the store, with me. Catching my stare, my former self waved. Thanks for the coffee, miss. And sorry if I offended you earlier, I didn't mean to stare. It was a gorgeous summer day on a Southern California beach, mid-80s, a gentle breeze, and clear skies. The ocean set the perfect scene as my girlfriend Lauren and I relaxed, worked on our tans, and watched the crowd. Hey Kathy, check this guy out, Lauren said with a snicker. Which one? I asked, turning toward her gaze. That guy in the white t-shirt, walking this way, thinks he's real cool. Squinting through my sunglasses into the bright sun, I made out the guy Lauren meant. He was attractive from a distance, medium build, dark brown hair, and a killer tan that popped against his bright yellow swim trunks. But as he got closer, I noticed his t-shirt. It was one of those tacky bar shirts featuring waitresses in tight, revealing outfits, showing off their headlights. What a ridiculous name for a place, I thought bitterly. So degrading. I turned to Lauren, whispering, what a loser. Does he really think that's impressive? As he passed, he threw a cocky smile our way. I rolled my eyes in disgust. What an idiot, I muttered under my breath. Lauren laughed softly beside me. About an hour later. Wow, it's really hot. Want to walk with me to grab a drink? I asked. Sure, Lauren replied. I'm dying of thirst too. We stood up, brushed the sand off, and headed to a small concession stand selling snacks and drinks. While waiting in line, my eyes drifted to the next queue. I nudged Lauren, pointed, and whispered, hey, look over there. It's that jerk with the t-shirt. We both glanced over and quietly giggled. He must have caught our reflection in the glass because he suddenly stepped out of line and started walking toward us. My throat tightened. I wasn't sure what he wanted. Is there a problem? He snapped, irritation clear in his voice. No. Not really, I said timidly. So what's with the laughing and pointing? Got something stuck on my forehead? Not your forehead, Lauren replied, eyes locked on the writing across his shirt. Oh, he said, realization dawning. You don't like my shirt? Hey, pal, I interrupted sharply, wear whatever you want, but that shirt's pretty offensive. Get real, he scoffed. There's nothing wrong with it. You two are probably just jealous because you don't have the curves to work there. He lowered his sunglasses and stared at us. You're a pig. I shot back angrily. Come on, Lauren, let's get out of here. Fuming and humiliated, we headed back to our towels on the beach. I swear, guys like that, I started. I know, don't let it get to you. He's just an idiot, Lauren interrupted. I just wish, I began again. Don't waste your breath, she cut me off. Honestly, I'm too pissed to stay much longer. Want to call it a day? Sure. Maybe we can stop somewhere for a drink on the way home. Soon, we packed up and walked toward the car. A little ways down the beach. I can't believe those two girls, I muttered. If they don't like my shirt, they can kiss my. My attention shifted. Whoa, check out the rack on that girl, I muttered as a young blonde in a skimpy white bikini passed by. I quickly adjusted my mirrored sunglasses to hide my stare, though she gave me a strange look. Standing there people watching, I started noticing almost everyone was giving me a second look. Feeling uneasy and self-conscious, I decided to check the restroom to see what was going on. Damn! I exclaimed in shock. What the hell are they staring at? I hurried to a small stucco building housing the restrooms. Around the men's room corner, I glanced in a mirror. I looked normal until my eyes dropped to my swimsuit. My jaw dropped. Jesus, I whispered, stunned. Panicked, I rushed outside to the back of the building, hoping no one could see me. I crouched near some bushes, trying to calm down, but nausea hit hard. I bent over, feeling sick to my stomach. Meanwhile, on the other side of the building. I'll be right back, Lauren, gotta use the bathroom. Sure, I'll wait here, she said, settling on a nearby bench. Inside, I waited for a stall to free up. After using it, I washed my hands and fixed my hair. Suddenly, a teenage girl entered, looking dazed and confused, playing with her long brown hair. Distracted, she bumped into the countertop. She looked up into the mirror, hands framing her face, as if seeing herself for the first time. Slowly, her eyes scanned down her body, lingering over her ample curves. In a trance-like state, she reached down, stroking her long, tanned legs. Her hands traveled to her rounded backside, tracing the outline of her bright yellow string bikini. Moving around to the front, her fingers skimmed her hips and smooth stomach. By now, 2 or 3 other women had stopped to watch the strange scene unfold. Their faces showed a mix of offense, curiosity, and embarrassment. Yet, the girl seemed completely unaware as she slightly parted her legs and slid her hand firmly down the front of her swimsuit. "Oh my God," one woman gasped before turning away in disgust. Another stood frozen, her hand covering her mouth. One mother quickly grabbed her daughter's hand and hurried them out of the room. Watching the girl grope herself made me deeply uncomfortable. Like the others, I'd seen enough. This girl's definitely got issues, I thought, steadying myself and heading for the door. Passing her, I couldn't resist shooting her a look of pure disgust. She caught my glare in the mirror and, like a child caught red-handed, jerked her hand away abruptly. As she awkwardly tugged her t-shirt to cover herself, my eyes caught the bold design on the front. I blinked in disbelief. Headlights. Seeing a guy wear one was bad enough, but a girl? Unbelievable, I muttered, turning away. Looks like the jerk's got a twin. If you appreciated this story and wish to show your support, don't forget to join me on Patreon for exclusive content.